All right, so this is the asset file that I gave you. I assume you know a little bit about Figma by now with it, and again, great prototyping tool with it as well. Open up this file. I gave you 4 graphics with it. Just find somewhere in the center with it as well. I'm going to use the frame layout with it as well. So the first frame I need for you to create is the size is 1920 by 1080. All right, so let me just put that here. Find the dimension layout with it, put in 1920, and then the height I need for it to be 1080. All right, this is a good dimension that you, when you're in a virtual environment, you could see the entire kind of like a billboard size with it as well. Okay. The other thing I need for you to come down here and look at the layout is to change the layout grid right here to have it from grid, change it from grid to column in here as well. So change that to column for me, please. All right. Excuse me. That's what you have right now with it. The next I need for you to come in here and you change the padding for this thing with it as well. So find the padding. Since we're here, if you can see the appearance for this as well with it. So you know, keep a note on that as well with it. Hold on. So once you change this to a layout to the grid with it, change it to columns for me. Change that to from grid to columns for me. And then on the left hand there's a little icon with it. If you click on it, come down to the settings I'm about to tell you right now with it. You can use the settings with it. The padding, padding. Where I thought I saw padding here in a second. Hold on. Okay, for the margin in here, I want you to put 252. This is the margin. For the gutter, let's use 332 as the gutter. And the count on here, you can give it between 12 or 18. I'm going to do 12 with it. So this is how I got this icon here. It took me a while to figure this out here with it. So 12. Margins 230, 252, gutters 32 with it. All right. And let's go, let's see if we can actually fill in this color right here. Black color is with it. All right. We'll fill in from here. Hexadecimal value with it. Okay. So fill the color with black background for it as well. Well, maybe that's a bad thing because we might need some opacity so we could see those rows and columns with it as well. So let me drop this down to about 80. See what this looks like. Yeah. And you could drop down to 80, so you need to see the rows and columns so you can do the layout with this as well. And later on you can turn it back up with it, but you can see the difference. I just changed that 80 and you can see it through with it as well. Alright, so that's just the basic, the first one with it. You can do keep that as frame 1, it doesn't really matter with it, you know, that's what I'm going to have you do. Each one of these are basically asset files I'm going to have you bring in here in a second with it. We're going to create the card right here with it as well. So if you can click on this next one over here is the rectangle with it, and I'll give you the dimension on one of these things in a second, but let me just draw one of them. And this dimension on here on this particular one with it, if you can give it 451 pixel, of course, and then the height 579 579 with it. Looks like that with it. Okay, and then I would like for you to actually fill in the make it black as a solid color with it as well. So fill in black as that solid black, so you can see there's a difference in there as well. Let's get the corners of this to 32 with it. All right, so it's kind of rounded off corner, no sharp edges with it. Yeah, with it as well. So so it kind of looks kind of like that. Now we're going to take one of these rectangle 17, which is the layer that you have right here with it, and we're going to copy it, Control C, paste here, you can paste another one, kind of give it a little gap, Control V, paste another one, okay. And I want to intentionally Control V, paste another one that kind of sits off of the page like this. Don't worry about that. It's going to cut off of that page in a second with it. All right. So the next step is to bring these in here. I already rounded off the corners of a lot of the asset files to match the corner of the black frame with it. So it's 32. And just bring them in there. There's not any particular order with it, but you can drag that in here and kind of like, okay. Okay. So something like this comes across, you might, let me see if I can actually bring to front here. No? Let me undo that. Control Z is your best friend here. So let me, maybe, you know, it's kind of weird the way how the browser works with it, but let me zoom in. Yeah, for some reason that dropped it into the back of this right here. So let me bring this to the front. Oh, I know what to do. Drop the opacity of this card with it. So, let me drop the opacity of this down to 0. How's that? Okay. So it kind of gives you the card with it, and let me zoom back out. So what we like to do is to put in some arrows in here as well with it, maybe a date, and then, you know, something that says fully charged in here. So come on over to Asset, find some arrows here. I think I use Feather, are the asset files that I use. Let's see what I use here. I want to see if I can import in some arrows. Let's use the right arrow. Let's see here, this one. All right, so I'm going to insert this one in, or just drag it in. And that's what it looks like that. So I have one of them in there already, so let me just delete it. I don't know where that is with it, but this arrow we're going to use at the bottom right here with it as well. So let me change the settings in this thing. This is about 48. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me change the background, fill the background with a little grayer color with it. Let me see what the hexadecimal for gray is. 0, that's a good number. No. No. Yeah. A little lighter backgrounds, dark. Let's give this thing a little larger. Let's give it 65 by 65. Again, these are just my numbers on here. You don't have to use my numbers, right? But this is we're going to put that there. This is one of them. This is the right arrow, right? We're going to copy it. Paste another one here. So I'm going to take the same one. This time move your mouse so it has a little, at the corner it has a little circular or rounded arrows. Shift and rotate that to the other side like this. So put that like this, and you're going to have to rename that. It's not going to the right. You're going to call that arrow left. Okay, so eventually when this thing slides across, you're going to actually put in some of the stuff with it as well. That's one. The second one, I want some things we need to go in here with it as well. You could do search for settings, like a spoke wheel with it. Something like this is also good. So make sure you get a vector graphics with it. So either you drag it in, put it in there with it. Again, give it a background color the same as the other one with it. I would do. Fill it with that same value, hexadecimal of gray color. Okay, so it gives you that. Maybe let's get that a little bigger. Let's say 65 by 65. How's that? Okay, so it just positions it a little. Yeah, about the same line as that with it as well. Okay, so something to the top of this, maybe a date, and maybe how much your VR is being charged right now with it as well. So, you know, you can use the text tools, some dynamic text in here as well. You could do one text or two texts, it doesn't matter, but let me just do one, and we'll flatten this out before we do things to it. Let me see here. Let's do align left. Let's do today's date. I don't know. February something fictional. Let's do March. March 27, 25. Okay. And you could change the font as well with it as well. I don't care what you want to do, but interchange is another one. You can do sans. However, you know, come down to here. Let's do something like charge, and you can put in another charge. Status. Or charge our battery. Something like this. Yeah. I like this. Let me leave this out here for a second. Again, giving that same background color with it. Before we bring that in, I use the scale 65 by 65. Okay. Okay. So you have basically some things we have here with it. Like I said, it's one of those things that we can go in and if you're comfortable with laying out this with it as well. All right. So let me check my notes, see everything with it before we, we're going to actually create another. Come over here and look at files here. We're going to copy this entire frame right here. Let me zoom out. And what I'd like to do is collect everything with what you have right here, right? Let me move. I don't like the way this sits with it. Move that to the back. Hang on. This is weird. Yeah, I need to move this into this layer right here. Yeah, that's how it should be set. So I need to move that that rectangle, that frame into the subgrouping of frame with it as well. So this is what it should look like with it. All right, I'm going to select everything with it, right? Keeping everything is what I have with it. I'm going to actually, I need to group some of these before I do this, but let me show you this before. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this to the side of it, right? Scroll to the right a little bit with it. And what I like to do is select everything and kind of push this whole thing, same thing, and have it on Rick and Morty with it. I feel like I'm missing another photo here for some reason. Yeah, this one. This one. Let me delete this one. I don't like the way this looks with it. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like with it. So as this grows in with it, this is what we are selecting. Get that little bit touch here. Okay. So this is what it looks like when you go from here to here. The next set of frames that we're going to copy is a frame 3. Okay, so let me do this whole thing. Copy, paste. No, Control Z. Hang on. I didn't select this properly with it. Paste it. So I paste the third one, put that down here with it. Let me just move this. I need a little space between here as well. So let me just grab this and move this over here like this. All right. This is the third frame. So frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. Let me just clean up some of this part in here with it. I don't need this. This is where they focus on to the but I still have everything fixed with it as well with it. So here I like to have a little bit more. Hold on, I'm getting 20 minutes almost. This is getting too long. I'm gonna have to pause. This is the end of part A, B, C. Okay,